What's going on, everybody? Hair here, and here I am for the review show, Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1 on Netflix. This thing blew my mind. I was so pumped up to see it. I've been a fan since the beginning, and let's just dive deep into it. Let's get into it. It blew my mind. Like I said, I have no words for it besides that. I was flabbergasted. I was shocked. I couldn't believe what I was seeing with my own eyes. Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1. I'll start with the bad first, because I like to do bad news first, good news after. Get yourself a redemption. There's not a whole lot of bad, there's a bunch of good, but I'll get to it. Might be very nitpicky about it, but who cares. First, the first thing that had a real bad taste in my mouth was with the plane crash. So Joyce and the Jewish guy, they find out that Hopper, all the spoiler alert, Hopper is alive. So they're trying to go back to him. They go to, I think, Antarctica, somewhere cold, and they have to go to Russia to go save him. They're on a plane with this shady guy named Yuri, who's doing this foreign transaction of, you know, you give us 40 grand, and he's a shady pilot linked to a shady Russian guard, where they're going to do this thing where they're going to give 40 grand, you know, to them, and they're going to bring Hopper back. So in exchange of 40 grand for that. So shadiness going on. Long story short, the Jewish guy Joyce and the Yuri guy, the shady pilot, they're driving, but they're fighting, and they end up crashing, and it's not in a body of water. You can say the snow kind of stopped it, but they crashed pretty hard. And they're all kind of just fine. There's not a whole lot of scratches. They're walking normally. It's like if nothing happened. It's like if they got in a fender bender, let alone a plane crash. That bothered me. It is what it is. Show's still great. I'll move on. Other one, Steve breathing forever. So Steve has had a great story arc since the beginning of the season up until now. He's evolved like crazy. He's trying to get to the water portal in the Upside Down in the lake. He dives in there, and he's holding his breath what seems like forever, and he's using strength and straining, and he's just holding his breath the whole time. It's nuts. It's insane. I had an issue with that. Again, I might be being nitpicky, but that's what I thought. Next part I had an issue with was Max. So once again, Max is a great character. She had arguably the best episode of the whole series in episode 4. It was an incredible episode. I couldn't believe what was going on. A lot of tearjerker moments, just emotion. A great song was playing. It was fantastic. I don't have the issue with her. I have the issue with the story arc after. So after that episode where she almost died, she almost got contorted, she was almost a mess by this new demon Vecna, we'll get into a little bit later. He kills everybody he gets in contact with, damages them severely. She's the one that got away. She escaped because of her friends and music. It's a dramatic, intense moment. Loved it. Here's the issue I have with it, though. This demon guy who's killing everybody, he sees someone that got away. Not just got away, but she also pulled one of his demon dreads off, ran, and someone made a fool out of him, defended herself. He never went back after her. So that's something I had an issue with. Why wouldn't he go back after her after that? I don't know. I have no idea, but to each their own. Also, real quick, I didn't want her to die. I definitely did not want her to die. It would have been super sad. But just the wheels turning in my head, I was thinking, if she did die after everybody was trying and her friends trying her their very best, what impactful moment would that have been? It would have been so sad. I'm all in for those impactful moments, i.e. Walking Dead, Negan killing Glenn, eyes popping out, all that. But again, loved it. It was an awesome moment. Loved the episode. Might be one of my favorite episodes of all time from the series. Last thing, I don't have an issue with this, but it seemed like Netflix was getting paid every time somebody said the phrase "goddamn," and I don't have an issue with it. I say it all the time, but they said it to the point, so much to the point where it's getting a little bit annoying. Everybody was saying "goddamn." I don't know what that was about. But again, I don't have an issue with it. It's like if somebody says the F word a million times in a row. I like it, I use it, but sometimes like overused, like gets a little bit annoying. Next, we'll go to the good. There's so much good. I don't want to make this longer than it needs to be. There's so much out there already, but as a whole, season 4, even though there's 2 episodes left, probably my favorite season of all time. They put so much into this. It's like an actual horror series now. It's so sick. You have the Robert Englund in it, and you see so much Freddy Krueger Easter eggs. Freddy Krueger was a thing before I was even alive, but we know it, we understand it. You have the internet, you can search up who Freddy Krueger is, and there's so many callbacks to it. The whole 80s vibe is just awesome. The music, again, just the vibe itself. I feel like they're bringing back the '80s. Matter of fact, one of the songs from episode 4 went #1 on the iTunes chart in 2022. Because this show's impacting everybody. So it shows you, man, that this series is great. The series is super sick. The '80s are awesome too, because I've been shazamming a bunch of songs from it and downloading it. It's fantastic. But some of the good stuff about it, these kids are older now. They're in high school. You can tell Lucas has a fantastic story arc because he's stuck between his nerd friends that we've grown up with when they were in middle school to now high school, basically becoming adults already, or already adults, to being a jock. So he's stuck in between because he's an athlete now. He makes a game-winning shot like Kobe Bryant. He's a basketball athlete star. That moment was pretty sick too. So he's a jock, but he's still in this new club called the Hellfire Club, which is his Dungeons and Dragons group that they have in high school. He's in both, but he's not trying. He's trying to be cool and kind of distancing himself from his nerd friends. So he has a weird story arc, but a great one at that. This new Hellfire Club, though, is headlined by this new character named Eddie, and that guy easily a fan favorite already. He's very sporadic. He's a spaz. He reminds me of just a band member you would see on Guns N' Roses or something. He came out of just a Guns N' Roses 1980s concert. He's super deep into Dungeons and Dragons. He leads this Hellfire Club. He stands up on top of the lunch table in the whole lunchroom, talking crap to all the different high school groups, and he's saying, "Can't wait to get out of here." He's one of those, against the machine type guys. But he sought out Dustin and Mike because they're, Dungeons and Dragons players, and they all wear that Hellfire Club shirt, which I'm definitely getting. And he's a great character in this, and it develops later on in the series. But there's so much to this. 11 is a big focal point of this series, as she's always been. She's probably the main character anyways, but they do callbacks to when she was a little kid. They introduce that there's all kinds of people like 11. 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 20, there's all kinds of them. And they show that it keeps showing flashbacks throughout the episodes where there's murders and she's supposedly getting yelled at, she's bad, whatever the case may be. There's some great callbacks to it. So she gets bullied by the kids, but she's also getting bullied in California because she's living with Will and his family and Jonathan and all them, and she's not fitting in. She's getting bullied by people in high school. They're always making fun of her, tripping her, pointing at her. There's this fantastic scene that I absolutely loved. I never get so into a show where I stand up and I'm like, hell yeah, I did this during this time, because there's this part where this snobby girl named Angela, this super snobby girl, just is pointing at her, laughing at her. She trips her. She throws like a sundae on her or something like that in front of Mike, who visits her from Hawkins in California. And she gets made fun of in this skating rink, this cool 80s vibe skating rink. Everybody in there is making fun of her. The DJ's spinning songs and saying she's a snitch because earlier in the episode, that Angela girl trips her or something, breaks her. She had this little monument to her dad, Hopper, that she presented in class, and the people made fun of her. And then this Angela girl dropped it. She stepped on it, and 11 kind of sort of insinuated that Angela girl did it to one of the staff on the school grounds. So everybody thought, oh, 11's a snitch because she did that. But everybody's bullying her anyways. Anyways. This Angela girl embarrasses her again in front of the whole skating rink. Everybody's laughing. The DJ's laughing. It's in front of Mike. Mike sees what's actually going on. He thought 11 was cool. She's not. She's bullied. But 11 finally has had enough. Now, she doesn't have her powers, so you're thinking, what you going to do? Now, we're thinking, you need to slap that girl. Slap her, knock her out, drop kick her, do one of those Jorge Masvidal flying knees to her. She does a great job of being hated because we all wanted to just, beat her up. Anyways, 11 finally has enough. She's crying. She grabs a four-wheel skate and she smacks the F out of the Angela girl on the nose, knocks her back, and I stand up, That's what I'm talking about. Yes, celebration. She deserved that. Um, it was great. It was well deserved. We really needed that. Everybody freaks out, and But again, I don't understand why everybody was mad. She deserved it. Again, they were bullying the crap out of her. It was a fantastic moment. I loved it. There was just so much. There was so much Freddy Krueger callbacks. Oh man, there's so much to this series. Again, if you're a fan of the '80s, you're a fan of slasher films, you're a fan of Robert Englund. He's in this. He's this Victor character who, again, there's just so much to dive into. There's Demogorgons killing Russians. They're like in an old school kind of gladiator vibe type thing where there's Demogorgons killing all the Russians. Hopper, he's in there. He has a flame. He's trying to stick it away. Real quick, Hopper has gone through so much this series. He's running on ice, on snow. His foot is halfway cut off. He's getting captured millions of times. I don't know how he keeps getting out. He's just gone through some stuff. He ends up escaping with that convoluted guard, and he has this awesome embrace with Joyce. They see each other. Fantastic acting. We were in the moment. It was fantastic. Man, there's just so much. You have who I talked about earlier, Steve and Nancy rekindling a flame too. Who that just kind of happens in life. So you see people grow apart, especially when they're kids in middle school and high school. They were initially together. They were totally different people at that time. Then Nancy got with Jonathan, who they live in different states now, but they're growing apart. So Jonathan's telling his new pothead buddy, who's also kind of hilarious, that he just wants to kind of let things go with Nancy. He feels like they are growing apart. He doesn't want to go to college with her. So he's saying that, and then she feels that same sentiment, but she's not admitting it to everybody. What's the other girl's name? Robin. She's in this series now. She's she's a bigger part of the series. She keeps telling Nancy, her and Steve look great together, all that stuff, and you see them rekindling more and more. So I believe they're gonna end up getting back together. I guess you need that high school drama for the high school show, even though I think Jonathan, Steve's not even in high school anymore, but it is what it is. So that's also going on. Let me see. There's this crazy part where, so there's the new villain is Vecna. He's this super villain from Dungeons and Dragons. He's killing everybody in the town. So there's this high school cheerleader, Chrissy. Typical thing, popular cheerleader, all that stuff. She keeps having weird little flashbacks. She's throwing up. You start to see, it's just kind of eating disorder type thing. But she's getting little flashes of just this Demogorgon-esque type stuff. And it keeps going, She ends up meeting with the new character, Eddie, this, crazy, devilish character that everybody likes, this spazzy type dude. She meets with him in his trailer, and and everybody's thinking, what's this crazy spaz Dungeons and Dragons dude doing with, the cheerleader girl? She's trying to buy drugs from him, and so you see there's more into it, and then that's important too. People in high school, people in middle school, whatever the case may be, they're going through stuff, peer pressure, all the above. She's trying to erase whatever visions she's having. Long story short, she ends up having this brutal, gnarly death. She gets levitated, and then her whole body contorts, eyes pop, everything. Steve's Eddie's on the run because he's freaked out. They're all kids, of course, try to figure it all out. But she has that gnarly death, and then this other guy, one of Nancy's partners, this nerdish type guy, he has the same death, and you keep saying this is the deaths that keep happening. One of the athletes had it, and like I said, Max escaped it. So it's super gnarly, it's real bloody, it's gory, it's super horror type vibes with this. I'm leaving all kinds of stuff out. It's just, you need to watch this. It's great. Can't wait till the next 2 episodes come out. There is so much to this. There's so much more with the Vecna character. There's this thing where they flash back to 11. They're trying to get her powers back. She gets captured by Russians, by the doctors. I'm sorry, and they're trying to get her powers back to stop this madness going on with everybody dying. And and they keep calling her back to where this massacre happens. She kills all the kids because they're bullying her too. Turns out she didn't kill the kids. It's this older guy that keeps following her in the this little vision that she's having, and it ends up he's number 1, 001 on his wrist. They have this epic battle off. He double crosses her, all this stuff. She ends up not killing him but hurting him really bad. She hurts him so bad that he goes into the portal of the Upside Down, and he's getting just scarred, beaten up, and he finally deteriorates, and he ends up becoming Vecna, this super villain. And this guy number 1, he was the son of Victor, who was one of the guys. He's Robert Englund, who is in this prison. He was one of the only ones that escaped the death from Vecna. His family all died, but it turned out his son was the one that did it, and he basically acted dead, and he was taken into this facility that 11 was in, and he's actually 001. He's number 1, and he's Vecna. It's this crazy twist. I had no idea that was coming. Some people said it was predictable. I did not think so. I can't wait for this. This is fantastic. Vecna's awesome. I can't wait to see more. How they kill him, what ends up happening, if he transforms back to his regular self, I don't know. But it's just, it's the normal Upside Down, but he also has the demonic Upside Down. It's red and has everything just real weird and twisted. This is that clock thing. Again, there's so much I'm leaving out. It's just a fantastic show. I can't wait to see it again. Can't wait for the last 2 episodes. Go check it out. Season 4 of Stranger Things. Fantastic. The best. Go check it out. This is the hair.